evening, everybody. I decided I'll go daven mincha and Marav with the minyan. I'm in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, and I'm heading to Harrisburg, so about 20 minutes. And mincha is in about a half hour. So I'll be there. Maybe I'll be there So I'll be there 8:13. I think mincha is 8:20. So I'll be about 7 minutes early for mincha, if there's no traffic or anything else unforeseen in the next 20 minutes. A lot of folks are asking about the smog or the ash or the haze from the Canadian wildfires. I heard about that, back in New York where I live, and I heard in New York City it's actually quite bad. I'm just noticing it now, to be honest. The sun is quite interesting, through this haze of how it's, you could look at it, a thought came through my mind, wouldn't it be nice if, excuse me, wouldn't it be nice if there was if there was something like this during a solar eclipse, you could just look at the sun, right? And with all kidding aside, it's of course very sad. I'm assuming, I don't know. I know wildfires are a natural part of wildlife, certain plants. As far as I know, only their seeds only disperse when there's a forest fire. But for that reason, there are a lot of controlled burn fires. For that reason, this doesn't sound like a controlled burn. Anyway, we're here, like I said, for the next couple of minutes. Any questions, any comments, anything you all want to talk about? Things, obviously, that we're allowed to talk about on YouTube. General questions and so forth. So while we're waiting for questions, I'll talk about this week's Torah reading. Is Parshas Bahaloscha, the third reading for the book of Numbers. And it begins with the laws of the menorah. And actually on the last day of Hanukkah, we read that. In all the 8 days of Hanukkah, we read the end of last week's Parsha, which was the Nasiim. Each of the 12 tribes had a Nasi. Nasi means a prince or a chieftain. In modern Hebrew, it's used to refer to a president. And each of the tribes had somewhat of a chieftain, a Nasi, a prince is how they're often translated. And the fascinating thing was that all 12 of the princes, at the end of last week's Parsha, for the Chanukas HaMizbeach, for the first Chanukah, the dedication of the altar and the tabernacle, each brought the same sacrifice, exactly the same, as their tribute to the dedication of the altar. And so for 12 days straight, starting from the first day of the month of Nisan, it wasn't called Nisan among the Hebrews at that time. Those names were names that the Jews took back with them from Babylonia. But the month that we currently call Nisan, which simply was either called Chodesh HaRishon, the first month, or sometimes Chodesh HaAviv, which we could translate as the month of the springtime. That those 12 days, the 12 princes, the 12 chieftains of the 12 tribes, each offered a sacrifice. And incidentally, that's one of the reasons why the entire month of Nisan is a quasi-holiday. Why? because each of those 12 days has a certain amount of joy that's similar to a holiday. And then 2 days later is Passover, and even a day later, whatever, is Erev Pesach, Passover Eve, which is already when the Paschal sacrifice was brought, so also a sacred time. And so essentially, and then by the time Passover is over, you have outside of the Holy Land less than a week left to the month. So they said once most of the month is already a time of joy, and so therefore there is no penitential prayers, what we call tachanun, and special supplications after the liturgy that are recited on a regular weekday. So it's because of those 12 tribes that basically the first half of the month of Nisan is holy. And so that's really the first Hanukkah. But we read till the 8th day, on the 8th day, and on the 8th day we read the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th day, and then, which could kind of be the 13th day, because the Levites are not represented there because Menashe and Ephraim were both represented. And so then you have the menorah, which is a separate parsha. The only time when it's not a double parsha that you have one aliyah from two different parshios. Anyway, MCWR asks, should we go towards the light after we die? Are you still there, MC? I'm sorry if I didn't respond right away. MCWR, Mikwar, I don't know, it sounds like Bigfoot. So this appears to be a reference to an experience that's been reported by many people, very good, throughout certainly recent times, of the near-death experience. Near-death experience would sometimes the near-death experience is referred to as an NDE, near-death experience. So the question is, so most people who have had a near-death experience describe going toward some light. Now there are descriptions of near-death experiences in our traditional texts, and I am not familiar with any reference to a light in those near-death experiences. You have to excuse me. Allergies are bothering me. Around some different animals yesterday, and then I would say this experience here with the smog is not helping. Anyway, I don't know enough to say, but
in half a mile, take the I-283 north exit toward I-81, I-83.
And I don't want to answer a question that I don't know an answer to, because that's arrogant. First of all, I don't know if near-death experiences are actual experiences of something supernatural, or if they're just memories that people have based on some sort of, cultural reasons. Meaning, we hear people talk about this, and we assume such a thing. And so then when a person wakes out of some sort of a near-death state, they then have the near-death experience as a memory, when they've recovered. And the question is that an actual experience, or is it merely a memory? I don't know enough about it. I've never experienced this experience. And so there's no guarantee that when one actually dies and it's for good, that the experience is going to be in any way similar to the near-death experience. But it also doesn't mean that it won't be. So with all due respect and love, this question is, should we go towards the light after we die, has to be modified to say, if we see the light after we die, should we go towards it? And I guess the reason for the question is this the authentic light of God, or is this something that's there to fool us? Is this something that's there to trick us and to snatch up our souls in the afterlife? Generally, it's understood that free will essentially
In
ends
half a mile, use the middle lane to stay on I-283 North.
with death. That is why we have the experience of reward and punishment.
Use the middle lane to stay on I-283 North.
What's the middle lane? There's only... Oh, I guess that's the middle lane? Alright. I think I'm on the right path. Anyway, so I don't think we would even have the choice whether or not to go toward the light after we're dead, except that there is a teaching in the Jewish tradition. I'm not exactly sure where this is. It's probably in a Kabbalistic text, because I don't recall it in the Talmud. I recall other similar teachings, but not exactly this. But I remember being taught one of the reasons why we want to bury very quickly, in addition to the practical reasons of Judaism of a quick burial, which are the main reasons really for all of these things, are the practicalities. It's not a maskilish statement. It's, it's not even a Maimonidean statement. It's just a historical truth that, why do we have a shomer for a dead body? Is because we don't want mice to eat it, to eat the body, to show covered a mace. Not because of anything supernatural or spooky, but something very down to earth and rational. And so too we bury very quickly in Judaism, because we don't want stinky, smelly corpses hanging around. With that being said, we have still, in addition to that rational reason, these are not contradictions, we have somewhat of a mystical reason to bury quickly, which has some
In 2
basis.
miles, use the left 2 lanes to take exit 51A for I-81 South, US 322 West for Carlisle, Lewistown.
I don't know if you all can hear the Google Maps speaking, but I'm pausing when she's talking there. Anyway, so a mystical reason why we very quickly is as follows. The spirit remains close to the body, there is some confusion at death, which again would seem to contradict this idea of the end of free will that we mentioned already. And it's okay, we can have contradictions. Starb nicht von der Kasche, you don't die from a question. But in any event, the spirit remains
Use the left 2 lanes to take exit 51A for I-81 South, US 322
close to the body.
Carlisle, Lewistown. There's a speed trap ahead.
And so therefore, with this spirit hovering around,
Use the left 2 lanes to take exit 51A.
it's not even really sure if it's dead or alive.
Continue on I-81 South for 4 miles.
And upon burial, the spirit realizes that the body is dead, and so it's time to go to wherever one is going. And it says, Molichim also. He is brought. It's a term that we see throughout our literature. He's guided, he's brought. It's not a matter of deciding, yes, I'm going to go to the light, or no, I'm not going to go to the light. No. You just go. That's all there is. You don't have a choice. Now, what's often expressed by people who have had near-death experiences is that essentially going to the light means not coming back. How you doing, Adam? Thank you. Welcome, Brooklyn Maboyim. Going to the light means, so I'm just explaining to Adam, who just got here, MCWR asked, should we go towards the light after we die? And I was explaining that we don't really know the veracity of these claims of near-death experiences, and yet, so I don't have a clear answer, but nonetheless, we're trying our best to have some sort of an answer based in Chazal. And so that's essentially,
take exit 66 for
you know,
what downtown Harrisburg.
what I'm expressing here. Essentially, that's the best answer I can give, is that we don't rightfully know, but I believe that it's not going to be, I could be wrong, but when it's our time to go, we're not going to have the choice as to whether to go to the light or not. And the truth is, I think even with a near-death experience, it is not ultimately our choice whether we are going to the light or not. Adam asks, what have you been learning recently? So I think that answers the question.
1.
End of the Civil War was near when quite accidentally a hero who sneezed abrupt burst into victory. His medal of honor pleased and thrilled his proud little family group. While hitting it on, some blood was spilled, and so it was.
Adam asks, what have you been... Hello? What have you been doing? Gemara Menachos,
Left at the 4th.
and also Gemara Nazir, by Mishnayos Torah right now, in Tanakh, Sefer Yirmiyahu, and Megillas Eicha, also written by Yirmiyahu. So Jeremiah and Lamentations. That's pretty much where I'm holding, and then I give it a sheer, private sheer, not really open to the public. It's the participants pay me in Torah and Shulchan Aruch, and we're going right from the beginning.
Continue
So
on North Front Street for
we're
3/4 of a mile.
in early, opening in Orach Chaim, both of the Torah and the Shulchan Aruch. We're trying to look as many of the Nosei Kalim as, including, of course, the Mishnah Berurah, but also the Chaim, and I'm trying as much as well to look at the Makor Chaim from my Holy Zayda, the Chavos Yoer. So that's kind of where I'm holding and learning right. In addition to my regular shiurim
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Bond Street.
that we do, we did the Noam Melech tonight. I believe it's posted already. Mrs. Levy and the Maharal. We did miss the Maharal 2 weeks ago because it was Yontiv. So that's about it.
Take the next left onto
Next
Bond
week
Street.
we're going to Monster Bash. We're going to spend Shabbos at the hotel, and that's about it. So just about to
In
shul.
1,000 feet, turn right onto North 3rd Street.
So I think it's time to end the live stream. I do thank you all for watching. God bless. Please like and share. You can share the live stream and our other videos as well. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed and you don't have notifications on, I can have notifications. You can hit that bell button. But anyway, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again real soon. Maybe on the way home, although it might be a little too dark to make a decent, what do you call it thing here? Live
Second
stream.
right on Then your destination will be on the right.
Yeah, we're here at Shul. So in Harrisburg, Kesher Israel just moved to a new location. They just hired a new Rav. And so here we are. All right. We'll see you later. All right. Thank you all for watching. Oh, how do I turn this off?
Your destination is on the right.